Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Politics for Gen Z. Today, we're talking about something that's literally burning a hole in your wallet. Picture this. You wake up, roll to the gas station, and the price on the pump looks like you're buying VIP tickets to a Sabrina Carpenter concert, not just filling up your Civic. Then you run to the store for some ramen and an energy drink, and the cashier looks at you like you're taking out a mortgage on a loaf of bread. Welcome to America, March 2026. Officially, they're telling us inflation is only 2.4%, guys. Everything's chill, but you feel it, right? Like, how is that mathing? The numbers on TV say good, but every trip to the grocery store feels like a survival game. Today, we're breaking down why the official numbers are cap, why your gas jumped 20% in 3 weeks, and what the war with Iran, Trump's tariffs, and the fact that we, Gen Z, might be the last generation to remember the phrase American dream have to do with it. Spoiler, this isn't just economics, it's a full-on drama where the stakes are basically our future. The energy shock, when the war pulls up to the pump. So the main villain in our financial origin story sounds like the plot of a new Call of Duty season, except it's real life. On February 28th, the US and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury against Iran. Strikes, counterstrikes, and then they shut down the Strait of Hormuz. For those who skipped geography class, the Strait of Hormuz is this tiny little bottleneck where 20% of the world's oil flows through. Imagine the only road to your work got closed for construction indefinitely. That's how the market panicked. Oil shot up above $100 a barrel. Translating that to our reality, gas prices went from $2.90 to $3.58 per gallon in 3 weeks. That's a 20% spike, Carl. And it's not just about paying more to fill up. This is the trigger for the whole economy. Everything that moves on a truck, from iPhones to milk, just got more expensive to ship. Farmers pay more for diesel, which means your groceries are about to say bye-bye to your budget in the next few months. Iran is like, we'll fight as long as it takes. Trump is like, we'll wrap it up soon. But as long as that strait is blocked, energy prices are staying high. It's like if a pipe burst in your apartment and the landlord was like, yeah, I'll get to it, maybe next month. You're just sitting in the mess, paying for it. Economists are warning, if this drags into summer, inflation could hit 2.9% or more, and we haven't even factored in Trump's tariffs, the sneaky tax you pay at Shein. Remember back in 2025 when Trump was swinging tariffs around like a hammer? Like, we're going to tax China and make America great again. Well, that hammer is now hitting our wallets. Tariffs are basically a hidden tax you pay even if you don't follow Congress drama. Back then, the average tariff rate jumped from like 2.4% to almost 17%. Yeah, the Supreme Court axed some of them, but the leftovers, that 10% on everything, are still working. Companies like Apple or the brands making clothes in Vietnam can't just eat those costs forever. They absorbed some of it, but now they're done. Imported stuff, car parts, new iPhones, even your Shein haul is already 1 to 2% more expensive. Goldman Sachs says this effect is going to keep hitting through 2026. Think of it like a mobile game with microtransactions. You used to buy a skin for $5, then the developers added a convenience fee just for opening the app. You still pay, you just skip buying coffee that week. That fee, that's the tariffs. But even if the war ended tomorrow and Trump canceled every tariff, we'd still be in a financial pit because we have two eternal problems: housing and food. Housing, or shelter in fancy econ terms, makes up like 35% of the inflation index, and it's up 3% a year. Why? Because there just aren't enough houses. We can't build new ones fast enough because of old-school zoning laws, mortgages are still kind of brutal, and rent in cities eats up like 40 to 50% of your income. We're the generation renting an apartment, hoping to one day stop throwing money into a black hole. Meanwhile, food prices are up 3.1%, just pouring gasoline on the fire. And all of this is happening while jobs are being added at a snail's pace, like 181K a year, one of the weakest runs in a decade. Basically, your paycheck is crawling while prices are sprinting. It's like being on a treadmill that's suddenly doubled in speed and you're just trying not to faceplant. How this hits us, the young people: canceled dreams. Okay, boomers might ride this out, but let's be real. This hits us the hardest, Gen Z and young millennials. According to the latest Harvard Youth poll, only 13% of young people think the country is headed in the right direction. 49% are living paycheck to paycheck, and 80% have put their life plans on hold. Buying a house? Cool, just gotta pay off those student loans first. Wedding? Cool, just gotta find an apartment that doesn't cost a kidney. Kids? Bruh, have you seen the price of baby formula? We're literally stuck in a state of permanent postponing. Memes are going viral. The American dream is dead. Long live the American anxiety. Or my 2026 plan is survive 2026. Trump's approval rating with young people is around 29%, but on the economy, it's even lower. We don't trust Democrats or Republicans because it feels like they're playing a game of political ping pong and we're just the audience paying for the tickets. What's next? 3 endings to this story. Economists are looking at 3 scenarios for our future. See which one you'd bet on. Scenario number 1, the copium ending. Optimistic. The war ends fast, the strait opens, gas prices fall back to 2.4%, inflation crawls back to 2.4%, the Fed cuts rates, life gets easier. We exhale and say, phew, that was close. But even in this happy ending, tariffs are still nibbling at our budget, and housing is still unaffordable, because houses don't just magically appear. Scenario number 2, the main quest. Likely. The war drags on for months. Oil dances between $90 and $110 a barrel. Gas stays above $3.50 to $4 a gallon. Inflation hangs around 2.7 to 3.2%. Economic growth slows to 1%. In this version, we start cutting costs. Less streaming subs, less DoorDash orders, more pasta with ketchup. And honestly, Republicans probably lose the midterms, because when gas is high, people get vocal. Scenario number 3, the difficulty spike. Worst case, escalation. The Houthis join in, Lebanon gets involved, energy prices go nuclear. Inflation hits 3.5% or more, and the Fed is trapped. Raise rates and kill the economy, or don't raise rates and let inflation eat everything. This is called stagflation. Prices jump 10 to 15% in a year, and we all just put our lives on hold. College, career, family, everything goes into the maybe later pile. The bottom line? Not panic, just a new reality. Look, the official 2.4% inflation number, that's like saying the average temperature in a hospital is 98.6 degrees. Technically true, but some people are fine and some are literally in the ICU. The reality is the average family is spending $1,500 to $3,000 more a year just to live. The worst part isn't just that prices went up, it's that they're never coming back down. Inflation isn't a temporary sale, it's a permanent shift. The cheap 2010s are gone forever. And now the real question isn't just what gas costs, but whether our generation even gets a shot at that American dream thing. A home, a family, some stability. Right now, that answer feels like a big fat question mark. But knowing how this money-sucking machine works, that's half the battle. Now, when you look at your receipt, you know it's not just stuff getting expensive. It's tariffs, a war across the world, and a housing crisis all throwing a party in your banking app. And honestly, you now know more about this than 99% of people you know. Smash that like button if you want to keep breaking down these topics, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment. What's been killing your budget lately? Gas? Groceries? Let me know. Peace, and keep your wallets warm, because it looks like an economic winter is coming.